So we're going to talk about Harmony Bloom and the new one, Chord Generator. So I've told you guys about the overview video you can watch. The manual is actually really nice. And if you haven't taken a look at that, you probably should do that first. But I'm just going to show you a use case of this today that I've kind of been messing with. And that is, I'm locking in to this chord here. This is the chord type. I've already set the scale, right? And then every note I press is going to play that chord. And this is the inversion I chose. There's the velocity. Now this velocity can change and be randomized, which we're going to do. I'm going to set an amount. That. Okay. I'm also going to randomize, let's see, this repeater. So I think this repeater, when I use it, reminds me of a delay. Kind of, it delays the note a little bit. So, because if you look here, it says randomize the repeater speeds each time the pad is triggered. So I'm going to do that. And you have to turn it on. Now it's on. Initially it was locked. And when it's locked, it won't change any settings. So now these right here on these grids will change each time. So this will change right here. Hear the repeats. So without this, you have and the sound that I'm using is this pack from Tom Wolfe's Sleep, and it's a pad. It's called Gentle Soul. So what I did was I duplicated these, and I have Harmony Bloom going to the same pad, and you'll see here I set the same scale in the root note. Locked it into the keyboard down here. So every time I press it, based on my settings here, you hear movement. So it's like I'm playing the melody and the chord at the same time. So I have two going here. And what the chord is doing is it's playing the same chord type, but each note that I hit, it plays a different version of that chord. So like if I hit a C, then it's going to play a C major 7 sharp 11. But if I hit a B flat, then it's a B flat major 7. So it's pitching it down or transposing it down to the right chord. Now, what I don't know is whether it's locking in the scale. So this is the global applies to all pads. So when I press a button, I'm assuming that it's locking in the scale exactly the way I pressed it. I'm going to turn on the gospel feature. Turn the repeater on. Neat. All right, now let's record. I'm going to drop this tempo down to like 70. And I'm actually going to, before I do this and play it, I'm going to lock the scale in up here. so that we can see if it's actually sticking to what the scale is saying, which I think it is, but just so we know. All right, here we go. So let's start. All right. I'm just doing this in a perfect 8-bar just to see how it looks. So here's the consolidated. There we go. So now you can see what it's doing. So this repeater is almost like an arpeggiator. On certain notes, it's using different divisions, and you can see each division is being indicated on that particular line, and it's randomizing it so it gives you a different feel. And then Harmony Bloom right here is playing within the scale but sporadic or random notes within that scale according to the way I set it up. So I'm going to change the color on this one. Do something like that. Just so it looks a little different. All right. So now together, I'm going to have to turn off Harmony Bloom or bypass it, just so that it's not, and what I'm going to do is I'll just bypass this one too. All right, so now we can listen to what we played. All right, so that repeater kind of gives it some movement, so it's not stale chords. Let's turn the repeater off and let's just redo this. So we're just going to try it differently. That's how you learn, right? So we're going to turn them back on. We're going to turn the repeater off. I actually want to reset it. Yeah, to 1/4. But we'll just turn it off so it doesn't really matter. All right. And then let's turn Harmony Bloom back on. Okay, cool. So now we're just going to re-record what we already had. Go. Okay. Let's do this here. All right, so now we're going to once again turn the record off here. And I'm only going to do this bypass just to ensure that it's not playing while we're doing it. You don't have to do this, by the way. So there you go. Now you get it. You can put them together and use the chords and the melody, or you could do them separate if you want. One of the cool things about doing it separately is that with Harmony Bloom, I've shown you guys this in past videos, you have presets that you can lock in down here. And with those presets, you could have variations of whatever you got going on in here as far as your notes that are triggering. So that's kind of nice to have, for especially for generative type music, ambient, cinematic. You can use this stuff in R&B, creating textural backgrounds and whatever else you want to do. It's pretty cool. So I like it. I think it's a worthy buy. I think for the two of them, it's about $60. And you have both of them. And I think it's really good tools. Is Chord Generator better than Chord Jam or Scalar? I won't say better, but I'll say it's definitely cheaper than the both of them to get these. You can, for the price of Scalar 2, you probably could get both of these for that price. They're roughly, if you caught them on sale. With these, you wouldn't have to worry about, but getting the Scalar alone. And so this is nice. This is cool. It's different. I didn't even mess with the strum portion of it. So that's available. Of course, you can unlock the keys here and then, play in the parts like that. Right, with just these chords. And I'm sure as I deep dive a little bit further into here, I'll find other ways to use this. But for now, this is pretty good. This is a start and to get you going. And especially if you need chords and you don't want to buy a scalar right now, this is a great way to do it. He has a couple presets from Frio Ventus. And one of the ones I like in here is the Cinematic Suite. But I also like the jazz colors, which is really cool. And yeah, there you go. So you got some half diminished and augmented stuff. Really cool. All right, that's it for this one. I'm out.